so active the chat is tonight. People are excited, I bet.
Poop,
Boop, boop.
poop, poop. I've got that one, hang on.
Oh, boy.
Is Graham in?
Oh,
That reality is in? Yeah, there he is. Sorry.
dude, my chat froze again. This is gonna be annoying.
10 seconds. So go. Someone's happy. Oh my god.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
How's everybody's Monday?
Best start of
Here
the
we
rest
are.
of your week. The 510 connection.
Yeah. 5:10, and we're here.
Wow,
Episode.
we've got our own show ballet now. 510.
Yeah.
I love it.
5:10, episode 9, and tonight we have a really awesome special guest here, Mr. Poonsauce McNasty.
There he is.
Hello. Hello.
Welcome to
hello.
the show, dude. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Cool to have you on, man.
Absolutely. Super glad that you could be here. And we have a jam-packed episode. So tonight we will be doing some awesome beer tasting between Jay and Poonsauce.
Well, it's
And
not a it's not
I-
it's not a you know, it's not a race or something. It's not a competition.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just giving a rundown.
Okay.
And I will be making up a mocktail for myself. So that's real cool.
For the mocktail.
And- Yeah, mocktail, and answering awesome questions from you guys out there in the beautiful chat. And thank you to our replay viewers.
Thanks, replay. Yeah, we should have a jingle for that as well. Thanks for the people on the replay. We had a couple of comments last week as well below the stream for people who commuting at Tuesday morning and listening to it. That's so cool. That's so cool. I like it. Thanks, the replay crew. The
Our
510
replay crew, we love you guys. We love
Yeah.
you guys here that like to catch us live as well. So,
Yippity-doo,
speaking
yeah.
of, I think we'll give a little quick run down the chat.
A very quick one. Welcome to Simon's, of course, Poonsauce McNasty. Welcome, Corey, to the
Yes.
show. Welcome. Nice to have you on here, mate. We have Simon62, Shrek Vape Reviews. Who's got a new channel, by the way? I'll link it later on, but we'll defo have to put it in there. Matt the Flavorist, welcome. Oder shall I? No, that's like German and Dutch and English at the same. That doesn't compute in my mind. I'm lost now. Okay.
It's all good, bro.
Mr. Flavors,
You
Matt. I mean, yeah. Guten Abend. That's what I want to say. Nat Reality Graham, what's up, dude? Thanks for joining us last Wednesday on the short film. We have Graham Spears, welcome. Mr. Anderson. James Dean, that's a name I haven't seen, just because it rhymes. I don't know. Mike K, welcome, dude. How you doing? Been a while. Lynn Smith, welcome. Blazing Vapes. And we have I'm missing names. I don't know. I'm scrolling too fast, probably. Graham Maberly, welcome. I don't know. I saw Lee. Not the real Gerard Butler. Or as he likes
The
to call
legend.
himself,
Oh, God.
the legend.
The more you say that, the more it's going to go to his head.
I have to.
I can see it go
give
now.
him shit for it every time.
Wintucky Shine, welcome, mate. Welcome to the show. Mr. Amatorium, that's Graham as well. Well, Fee, welcome. Good to see you again. Scott Morrison. Thespian. She could have a choir as well, right?
Yeah.
Chris Hanghofer. That's like hangover in German. Hanghofer? No, I'm
Nice.
kidding. Sorry, mate. Sorry. Hi, Chris. Welcome. Vapenmank, Arcade. New names popping in. It just shifted. Car Reviews, welcome. Good to see
Hey,
you on
Car.
here. KGB, dude. Welcome. Hoorah to you, man. I'm just going to sing because I'm not seeing any new names, but I'm not sure if singing is keeping this interesting. Matt Chandler, welcome. Good to see you. Shane Gibson. There's Nomad Vapor. There you go. Some new names. Sheboygan. He can have one too. There we go. JJ Jerry, welcome. I think we kind of run through the names, and sorry if I missed you. And,
Mike K.
I did.
Oh, you said Mike?
Yeah.
I just wanted to say hi to Mike too.
Okay, sorry. That's cool. We can all say hi to Mike. Hey,
Right.
Poonsauce, want to say hi to Mike?
Hi, Mike.
Yeah.
Hi, Mike. There we go.
There we go.
Fletcher Boy, Albert Valenti. We can go on all evening, I guess, you know. There we go. Thanks, guys, for popping in. And I hope you enjoyed the show. And thanks to the people on replay as well. There we go.
Always.
Back to you, Disco.
Awesome. So, Poonsauce, what's going on?
What's going? Yeah, not much. Just normal Monday. Nothing really too special.
Yeah.
Well, you're here. That's
So,
special.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Definitely.
Hang on. Oh, just another show. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, just-
So
every Monday.
you've been busy. You've been doing lots of cool stuff on the side,
Yeah.
right? So you're getting into beer reviews.
yeah, it's a new avenue I kind of attempted, I guess you can say, maybe almost going on maybe a month and a half now, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Went over around that.
Almost daily, isn't it?
Yeah,
Mhm.
every day during the week I try to keep the weekends just so I can
That's great.
chill and let the liver not hate me as much.
Yeah.
There you go.
But
They're awesome. I've actually caught several
Yeah.
of them. You've been really selecting some bangers,
Yeah.
and it's very interesting. Like I personally really enjoy watching the way that you review and your style of reviewing. I like that you keep it like short and sweet, but like full of information. You share the opinion of what others think of the beer, and then you share your own opinion too. And I love that.
And doing it live every time, that's fun. That is really cool. I think
well,
that's...
yeah, it's like I'm not the techie kind of person that knows how to do recording software crap. So I can use OBS to a minimal, I guess you could say, to where I can get that working properly when I want it to. And it just seems easier to me so I can interact with people and kind of
Yeah,
just
it is. Yeah.
bounce off people in chat, even though 95% of the time they just want me to chug the beer. But
I was gonna
Yeah, I
say
saw that.
you do have an active chat, and yes, 90% of the time they're
Chug,
like,
chug,
chug it.
chug, chug,
Legit.
chug. Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
not
like-
tasting beer.
try to make it a Thursday thing for Throwdown Thursday to kind of just have a beer that's sessionable enough to where it's like, you know what, I drank a little bit of this, time to down at the end. And
Nice.
Yeah, keep it at the end. That's better for you.
it
Is
adds
it-
a
is
little
it-
bit of
is
fun little element to it on Thursdays, but overall it's a good experience.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's been really fun. I've been having, it's just, since I have so much beer in my house to where it's like the variety is endless, and it's kind of been cool to like be able to do it and actually able to hold myself to like being accountable to how, instead of me just drinking 5 or 6 beers a day, just be like 1 beer a day, do that for
Oh,
a
yeah.
review, and
Yeah.
then just kind of not have to feel like shit at the end of the night,
Yeah, good one.
which is nice.
Hey,
Wait, is it
if
like,
it works
um,
for you, man, and you turn it into something positive and
Yeah,
you know
definitely, yeah.
informative for other people, that's
Sharing the
awesome.
information. Yeah.
I mean, it's like, especially when it comes to like reviewing something that relies on taste buds, it's gonna be different for everybody. So it's like,
Oh, yeah.
it's just one person's opinion that you could take it for what it is, or you can kind of belly it, like piggyback off their opinion and see if it's something they enjoy as well. I don't think I've had any feedback of people trying the beers that I've reviewed yet or been able to get their hands on it. I guess just because it's the amount of beers I review are so like all over the place when it comes to being in the US. So
Oh,
Yeah.
you just have to
Yeah.
wait and see whenever I find one that is in the area of somebody who hangs out in my chat or watches my videos, and
And send them over or
get
something.
feedback that way.
Yeah.
Because I can see that it's kind of tough, right? To get some of them are like limited releases and kind of like a quarterly thing, and it'd
Yeah.
be kind of tougher to get your hands on. Yeah.
Well, it's like, and plus, like a lot of the stuff I get is off of the app I use, Tabor, which is a great beer delivery service and kind of beer subscription thing. You can get on the app and you put in your zip code, and you can either choose between like a subscription box where you kind of tell them what kind of beers you enjoy, and they send you random beers through those flavor profiles per month, or you can just go off which ones they release every day, and you can kind of like build your own box.
But that's
Yeah.
that's
Do
an
they give
American
you
app,
like
though,
a
isn't it?
discount or anything for like the more that you build your box, so to speak, or is it just like
The
a set
more of a
price?
loyal customer you become, you start getting access to their secret stash stuff
Whoa.
to
Oh
where
yeah, secret
if
stash.
you spend a lot of money through them, which I definitely have, you get like on the app that kind of recognizes that you've spent a lot of money with them, and it tells you like within like a green bar above the beer saying this is a secret stash, only limited people are able to see this, and we're giving you guys the opportunity to get your hands on stuff that we were either going to
Oh,
save
that's
for
nice.
ourselves or just we got a small run of it in instead
That's
of like being
awesome,
able to
dude.
get everybody from Tabor
But
to have the opportunity to get their hands on it.
but the beer tasting is now a big thing you're doing on YouTube, and
Yeah.
but you're not new to YouTube, are you? So if you we have kind of a mixed audience because Disco and I know each other, of course, from the Grim Green Discord, and I've met you there before as well, of course. But so those people are in there. We've got some UK reviewers in there. We've got a really mixed audience. If you would like to introduce yourself to someone who doesn't know what you're doing, how would you do that? What is your
Let's
main?
see. I'm just a bearded bastard who likes beer and vaping. It's pretty much what I sum it up to be.
Boom. Okay.
What it
No,
is.
but what are you doing? You also have a stream with Logan.
Oh yeah,
for
well,
example?
when I originally started doing a show called Vaping with the Omies, happens every Monday. We have a show happening tonight, and it was just a bunch of dudes. We're all heavy enthusiasts, and we decided because we all started it within the Vape Stew kind of
Yeah.
Discord, and
Yeah.
we started the Omies off of there not being a stew that week because everybody was in the UK for the UK Expo that was happening. So we were like, why don't we do something called the leftover stew? And it was just a bunch of the Stooges came in, did a live stream, and then we realized that the group we had in there was we all
Clicking.
like meshed well together.
Yeah.
So we decided to kind of make our own thing out of it and make Vaping with the Omies out of it. And we've been doing that for almost in May would have been 3 years, and today we're kind of I don't know if anybody's seen from the kind of the thumbnail of the stream, but today's gonna be our last episode. Unfortunately, we decided that it's time to we've all kind of gone in our separate directions when it comes to what we want to do, and like we did what the Omies kind of set out to do when it's like to build all of us up, build our confidence, build everything up when it comes to like how we are talking about things, and we've done that. So we were thinking that right now that it's better now than later to just say do one last
there's
one
going to
for the
be
road,
one point in time where you but it's sad though. It's sad though.
It's bittersweet. It's gonna be tough a little bit. There's probably gonna be a little bit of emotion going through tonight's show, even though it's an Omies hangout, but it is what it is.
Yeah, but you guys are all like really wonderful
that's the cool thing about it is
and like have a lot of cool stuff going on. Anything from like Clown with the mixing stuff and his reviews, James over there with the podcast, and then you with your beer reviews, and then the gig
the rest
with
of the guys
Logan.
kind of doing their own thing. So it's like I said, it's bittersweet, but it's not like we're gonna stop talking to each other. We're all best friends practically still. We all talk to each other within the daily, so it's not like we're just abandoning a friendship that we've grown for the past 3+ years,
right?
Almost. And
it's just
it's a great thing, and we've all been able to branch out and do things that we normally would have done if it wasn't for like the vape community and all that stuff. Like
that's great.
Me doing advocacy videos started on the Omies, and then I kind of went the next level with it and decided to do a Wednesday live stream.
Yeah, that's
started
what Logan,
every
right?
Wednesday. I started with me, by myself. I attempted to do it that first, but talking to yourself when it comes to advocacy is tough. I don't know how Nick does it. That's why I probably brought Danielle in, because she's fantastic when it comes to advocacy, and just being able to talk about that stuff on your own is, I give that people who do it way more credit than they deserve, than I deserve doing it, because it's just I can't do it myself. So when I originally did it, I brought in Mr. Sean Type from the Angry Hippie. We went a little bit going that way, and then Sean decided to do other avenues, and I decided to bring Logan on, which Logan's a fantastic advocate. He's one of my closest friends, and it's
nice
what he's doing for the community and the information he brings out with like the Kasab podcast.
Big kudos there.
With what crap, I forgot his name. Whatever.
Sorry?
And then like the Rise and Vape stuff he's doing with him and his wife, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
great. And that's
Alex Clark.
everyone's.
That's what I was thinking of. Alex Clark.
Sorry?
I don't know why I couldn't think of it at first. So me and Logan have been doing it for a little bit now. And when me and Logan decided to do it, we decided to do it like a bi-weekly thing. Because there's sometimes when it comes to vape advocacy, we have lulls when it comes to stuff going on. So it's like you may not have a topic to talk about every single week. So we decided to do it like a bi-weekly kind of programming, and it's been going great. He's like my partner in crime when it comes to advocacy. So because we always piggyback stuff back and forth off each other, and just we bring out the best in each other. I feel like, and it's really fun. Even though there's a lot of rage sweats happening sometimes, but
hey, that if you do advocacy, that comes with the game, right?
Yeah, overall, it's a great experience, and like the things that we've been able to talk about and people we've been able to talk to has been incredible.
Yeah. Just a quick question from Sheboygan in chat. Sure. What is the name Poonsauce and how it come about around how you say it?
Okay, so the name that I've been going by for the past, when it comes to vaping, that's what people know me by. But so originally started back when I was in like high school, back in like Modern Warfare 2 Xbox days, Xbox 360. I was just playing that with my friends, and the name kind of came out of nowhere, and it kind of stuck, and I kind of just went with it.
Game name.
Yeah, it was kind of a game name that I just took along with it and brought it to YouTube and brought it to social media when it came to like Discords and YouTube chats and all that stuff. So,
and it was Poonsauce, or was the McNasty already in there?
Greatest explanation of a weird name like I have, but that's what I got.
But was that only Poonsauce, or was McNasty?
It was the whole thing.
The whole thing. Okay, Poonsauce McNasty. I like it. It has a nice ring to it.
It involved
I don't know why,
me somehow being really ragey in Modern Warfare 2. That's all I remember from it.
Oh my goodness, that's great.
Well,
I mean, I did the same thing. I brought my gamer name over, and then it wasn't very like YouTube appropriate. So then Disco Potato was born, but I did the same thing.
Yeah. I wouldn't say this name is actually appropriate, even if you type it in. You don't want to know half the time what you're searching in Google when it comes to.
It's one nobody will forget.
Yeah,
it is unique. It is unique.
Oh yeah, I can easily recognize that name. That's something they'll always be recognizable when it comes to like somebody seeing it. So I guess I have that one for me.
Oh, that's a good thing. Let's show us what we're vaping on tonight. I'm just going to kick it up because it's very boring, actually. I'm still on my Legend with the Tango RDA, with a different skin, by the way. Oh. And really? In that is my new bottle of the Madagascar Bavarian cream. The other one's empty. Damn it, I need to make more. And I need to have this like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Damn, I didn't get around on mixing today. Another Legend with still the honeycomb style on there. Another Tango RDA, and that is my commercial juice, which Graham and Disco have helped me a lot the last couple of days.
Butterscotch Reserve,
on pinning that more down to where I want it in the DIY stuff, and of course
we're trying to figure it out.
We'll talk about that on Wednesday. Wednesday's short fill time, and of course.
Oh yeah.
That is Mr. Anderson's Big Red Pill 21700 MOSFET Mac with a iconic on top. And in there I have some marshmallow brown sugar custard.
Ooh, marshmallow brown sugar custard?
Yep, marshmallow brown sugar custard.
Nice.
And the battery's almost empty.
Uh-oh. You gonna pass it? Let's pass it off to our guest. What do you vape on, Poonsauce?
Mr. Poonsauce.
Yeah, I got a few things. Got the Skelly 213 with the Blotto.
Oh, big
and inside of there,
you
found like a really small bottle of some lemon twist, the Pink Punch lemonade, which I went through 2 tanks and I'm already down to here.
That's
like
good,
3 tanks. So I've been able to fly through this thing pretty quick. Really sweet, like really heavy on the sweetener. I'm not really looking forward to taking the Blotto apart and seeing what it looks like under the hood.
Oh yeah, black.
It's probably gonna be gross, but oh well. I like the taste at least. And then next I got the MK Regina with the Dwarf DL. got the special recipe, AJ Holland. I went to AJ and had him do the spec of the J-Boy singles, which is like one of my favorite single coil specs when it comes to like an RTA or an RDA or something. And it's been fantastic. So been running this is the last of my Never Mind That Shit, Here Comes Mango from Mr. Sifu Mustache. And there it's his mango champagne, which is delicious. And finally, I have like one of my ride or die setups just because I'll have to be in just a great mod and has like my favorite RTA of all time on top of there. So I got the mix with the GT4S.
Now you're in Motor Long Disco Land.
And then inside of there, I got some Pete from Steel Valley Vapors from the Clockwork line.
Oh, the Steel Valley, yep.
What's the flavor profile of Pete?
That one, I believe, is like a banana nut, peanut butter, banana nut milkshake thing. I don't remember exactly.
That sounds delicious.
Supposedly, his son actually is the one that kind of gave him the idea for the recipe because they used to make like milkshakes and stuff at the house, and 95% of the time his son used to make shitty milkshakes, and then he decided to do that kind of peanut butter banana nut one, and it was fantastic. And he decided to make it into a liquid, and it's delicious.
Nice.
And
cool.
And then
it's too bad you can't order it over here.
Random disposable that I have sitting around that I just take a hit off of every once in a while.
Oh, you need your backups.
But I want my 50 milligram hit to the face.
Oh, that's the reason. Okay.
It's one of the. I think it's one of the first vapes I pick up when I wake up, just because that first throat hit after you wake up is fantastic.
So you're still vaping because you need the nicotine. Is that correct to say? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you need that like push in the morning.
I feel like somebody would have been strangled in my house by now if it wasn't for me.
Same.
Well, same here. If I would not have the nicotine, but bring it down to like 3 milligram. That's well on
everything
on
I base is a 3, except for that mix salt that I have.
Okay, so that's something you really need in the morning.
I made a juice order, and I think the place I was ordering from is trying to not have disposables anymore. So when I was in the middle of checking out after all the liquids I bought, they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna throw in 10 disposables in with your package." So I'm like, okay, thanks. And they sent me them for nothing. Like, now I have some just to.
We'll just dump it on you,
so
right?
I just have them to use. So
we'll just dump it on Poonsauce.
Right.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, you know me, with the boring old, same old. Because
that thing is really getting boring now.
Pioneer, right? I switched it up today. Built up the billet box. I have the Atmazu vape shell in there, mouth to lung mode.
We need a billet box jingle. We need a billet box jingle.
Maybe. I think I'm actually going to force myself to only use billet boxes for a week. We'll see what happens. And then I got my Drag X Plus Pioneer on top, and the Danny Mini Pioneer on top. And
what's that?
I will be enjoying
your empty glass.
An empty glass with some
I'm
fruit.
going to be enjoying a lovely mocktail when the boys open their beers. So I'm excited about that.
Mocktail. Mocktail is like a
mock-up
mock-up
cocktail,
cocktail,
vinegar's
right?
in there, though, right? Just kind of give it that kind of twang.
Sour fruit note.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you guys want to open some beers?
Yeah. Might as well. I'm getting thirsty. I'm ready for a beer.
Yeah, well, I am drinking already, but, Mr. Poonsauce, go ahead.
While you go get yours, I'll kind of...
Shall we do it at the same time?
Do you have yours on you, or...?
Well, not on me, but
also
I've got it right in front of me. No, I've got it right in front of me now.
You're prepared. I like
Sorry.
So, yeah.
Oh, man, I missed that one.
I've already reviewed, technically, this beer, but this is a different variation of it. So, I already reviewed the Barrel Aged Ragnarok, which is their Baltic Porter they do. It's from Imperial Oak Brewing Company, little local one near me. And it's delicious. It's what you expect out of a bourbon barrel aged stout / porter, because there really is no difference between a stout and a porter. It's just whatever you want to call it. And it was fantastic. The whole Baltic kind of thing was new to me, but then I researched it and found out that they use a lot of like the Baltic yeasts when it comes to like all the stuff that they would add in like lagers and all that stuff.
I'm sorry, you
Lagers
got
that
your
are usually,
first.
like,
I'm sorry to interrupt you. You've got your first chugging, and it's not even open. Thanks, Derek.
What was it?
Oh,
Who was
Derek.
it? Yeah, Derek. Don't worry about him. He's another chugger.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Simon, I have not. That's one of the things that I've been wanting to get my hands on. I've had so many U.S. craft beers. I haven't had anything from overseas yet.
Oh.
So that's on the list of stuff I eventually want to get my hands on when it comes to widening my horizons, because the European craft market is insane.
Huge. Yep.
Insane.
It is.
So, yeah, this one is kind of similar to the one I already did the review on, but they added a couple things. So when they brewed this, they brewed it with actual coconuts, cocoa nibs, and vanilla beans.
Ooh.
So they're kind of different version of it. You're still going to be getting those kind of Baltic kind of lagery kind of yeast in there to make it add like a little bit more of a bready note into a porter, it was interesting. It was very, very unique when it comes to like, I've never had a porter like that before. So I'm really excited to see. I'm hoping that I get that nice Maker's Mark kind of flavors that I enjoy out of nice bourbon. So yeah.
All right, pour it. Oh.
Yeah.
Love that sound.
And what you got, Jay?
I have I've saved this for a couple of weeks just because I knew Poonsauce was going to be on. I've got the Big Black Mash by AF Brew, and it's a stout. It's a butterscotch imperial stout with like, oh man, I need my glasses again. Sorry.
No worries.
Probably 10% ABV.
Hold on, I got it right here for you. So, Big Black Mash is a 10% ABV.
There we go.
30 IBU, I think it was. So you're gonna get a little bit of a bitterness to it, but not much. It's a butterscotch imperial stout.
Okay, here we go.
Pretty much what it comes up to.
Here we go.
It's one of their kind of, I guess it's a seasonal one from them that they consider it on tap. It's an imperial double pastry stout, so I'm guessing that's going to be from the butterscotch in there. You're going to get a little bit more sweetness, but I think with the 30 IBUs, the kind of sweetness is there to like balance out the natural bitterness you're going to get in there.
Probably, yeah. That sounds like a good stout to me.
It's relatively high rated. Over 11,000 ratings on this beer on Untappd, and it has an average of 4.16 out of 5.
Wow.
That's...
Oh, yeah, look at that.
And it's black.
Oh, yeah, you can already tell that's heavy. That's a heavy one.
I love that one.
Ooh, that's a beautiful pour, both of you guys. Well, cheers to all of you.
Yeah.
I will be having my special mocktail.
Of course,
Cheerio.
I can't be drinking Imperial Oak beer without drinking it out of an Imperial Oak.
I'm just going to sponsor one of the
Cheers, everybody.
local breweries, Moorslotel Beer Engineers, but it's not from them. Okay, there we go.
Oh,
yeah. This is a treat for me, man.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Oh boy.
So I'm wondering what I'm going to pair with this. I have a guava, a sweet Malaysian guava mix.
Well, because you said that was an orange cream sparkling water.
Yeah, orange cream, a hint of apple cider vinegar, and some blackberries and blueberries, and some raspberries. It's actually really good.
Scott, we're going into pairing just right about now, I think.
Okay, Jasper.
Yeah.
Before we get into pairings, what are you getting off of, like, have you taken a sip of it yet?
Yeah, defo, of course, yeah.
Okay, what have you had that beer before or not?
Nope, I haven't. No, I've
what are you getting on the smell?
stouts and porters are really in my like ballpark. That is what I really like, and especially the stouts, above the 9%, because I think it has more body to it, and I like it's more sticky.
Because when I think of a higher ABV stout or like a porter or anything like, you can even consider a barley wine to kind of be in that stout realm as well sometimes.
Yeah, but it's less sticky, isn't it? The porter.
It's syrupy. You feel the warmth when it's going down your throat. I know. Bring out the puns and innuendos. It always happens.
Oh well, just have them all on the table at once, right?
Yeah, but so on the smell, what are you getting off of it so far?
On the smell, I get the.
Tell me what kind of smells you're getting.
I've got the breadiness of a stout.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the I've got a little bit of sweetness from the butterscotch, but the butterscotch is more in the taste than in the smell.
Okay, but is it like...
And the alcohol,
Let's
I can
see.
smell the alcohol.
So does it smell boozy to you? Because you can kind of get that boozy smell every once in a while, depending if it's aged or not.
Defo.
So what kind of mouthfeel are you getting? Syrupy?
Sticky.
Kind of like sticky? Like
Sticky.
so that's going to be like whenever you
sticky
have
coffee.
like
Sticky coffee.
a
That's
porter
it,
or stout, and it's like that sticky kind of mouthfeel.
Yeah,
It's
that's
always
what I
going to be
like.
syrupy. So it's...
Yeah.
You getting like those... Do you taste any like barrel aging kind of things in there, like an oakiness?
No, not
at
really.
all?
No, not really. It's really the sticky coffee. Yeah, the butterscotch is more on the exhale, so to say, and more like when you let it sip for a little in your mouth, and then like it's sticking to your taste buds, and then you get the real butterscotch. Well, not real butterscotch, but the hint of butterscotch.
There's so much science when it comes to like tasting anything, especially beer, because there are charts and all that kind of stuff to where if you want to have it sit in your mouth for a little bit to realize what exactly you're tasting, there's specific parts of your tongue that taste different receptors.
Oh yeah.
And that's like that kind of chart where it comes to like what you're going to taste is changing all the damn time. It's like I talk to Breeze Tones about it a lot when it comes to that because he's a big coffee enthusiast. So they use those same kind of charts with tasting coffee and everything too. So it's kind of crazy how it's like if you want to get specific notes out of anything you're drinking, you kind of want to like, I don't want to say have it sit on the specific parts of your tongue, like maybe sometimes in like the back of your tongue in the center. That's where like most of like the all around is like where the most receptors are when it comes to what you're going to be tasting. I believe on the outs. So I know trying to figure out if you're holding it that on that part of your tongue is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I can tell you from right now, a second ago. Yeah.
I know if you see somebody drinking something like tilting their head back and forth.
trying to keep it right in the middle.
Because like in the middle of the back is where like the most concentrated amount of receptors are in your tongue. But then like on the outside of your tongue, there are a decent amount of receptors on there as well to kind of get what you're going to be tasting.
Yeah, but it's also your gums and you know the inside of your mouth as well. You know, receptors are everywhere, and of course the smell is a very important part of what you're tasting as well. It's not just what's 100%. In your mouth. It's how do you taste a beer? You know, just the basics from like pouring it in. What are you looking for, and how do you go about it?
Know how I do my kind of reviews, huh? Don't you?
Sorry.
Pretty much what we're going to be breaking it down to. When I was talking to these two earlier in the week, I was like, so you want me to do kind of like an impromptu review on the show? They're like, yeah, let's do this. Okay, so how I usually start a review is pretty simple. The first thing I usually look at before anything is the can art, because I'm a big kind of... There's so much to be finding yourself interested in a beer than just how the beer tastes, to be honest.
True.
For me, the whole experience of what your whole entire experience with that beer is going to be is the moment you walk into the liquor store or the brewery or the bottle shop you're going to. Because when you go in there, you kind of are not really looking to see, like, going in there for a specific beer in mind. A lot of the times when you're a craft beer enthusiast, you just kind of want to see what the selection is, because most of the time, if you like craft beer, you kind of know of a spot that has a lot of selection. When it's like, or you have a brewery that you go to that has the stuff pre-canned already. So when you go in there, I always look at something that pops out to me. It could be different colors. It could be a style of art that's on the can when it comes to like what your preference is, when it comes to like, how do I explain this?
Yeah, how do you pick them? But
I have stuff that's like, I'm a metalhead as well, so I look for things kind of maybe in the gory side of art sometimes.
Yeah.
I enjoy a lot of like, when I think of this, I think of kind of like a Nordic history, because I'm partially Norwegian as well, so that kind of stands out to me as well, because
you're absolutely right.
If I like just the
if I can interrupt
overall
you.
appealing.
The thing was funny because this can, I really like, you know, the simpleness, black and white, and it matches with like how is that? And you know, it has to be appealing to your eyes as well.
You saw that when you go into a liquor store or a bottle shop, and you know how like they have like the glass kind of doors where all the stuff's in there. You see something like that, you'll see that white circle kind of looking like one of those like hypnotizing kind of circles, and it'll draw you in.
Yeah.
So that art is specifically trying to intrigue you get in there. So you go in there and see it, and that's the art is specifically trying to draw you in to open that door and look at it.
When I was super into craft beer, like art is 90% of the fun. Like I would go in and just
Has
buy
to be
so
appealing.
much based off of the art. Obviously I had a certain profile that I really enjoyed. Like for me, it was fruited sours. And then sometimes I'd get into a nice stout or like a peanut butter heavy like stout. I like those. A good chocolate stout, a vanilla porter, some stuff like that. But like 90% of the time it was the artwork. Like
Yeah.
there's just certain stuff that's just really cool and it piques you and you're like, I want to
Yeah,
try
me and my
that.
dad kind of collect labels when it comes to this can. Sometimes, like he has like a kind of a label catalog that we're kind of getting together because eventually we're
I
gonna
did
get like
that.
a frame,
Damn.
like a giant, like kind of poster board and kind of
Sweet. Yeah,
collage them all
Jay
together.
saved a few too, and he's
Or
got
it's
that really cool one behind him.
Which
That
one?
what
Oh.
was that one called?
like I have one saved. I have a couple saved here. just
Octane
because-
Overlords. Ta-da!
Like
Yeah,
I
check-
have one specifically saved here because if you know Breeze Tones, he has a nickname that
Oh,
people
it's
like to call him Steez Brones. So
Yeah.
I got this beer off Tavor called Steez, and I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, instantly.
That's
And
cool.
then what else do I have? Let's see. I got this guy over here, which, if you know, by looking at my arm, I'm a big Edgar Allan Poe fan. I mean, I literally have his face on the back of my arm.
There you go.
Nice.
So, and Nevermore kind of engraved in me as well. So, when I got this beer back in the day, this was an automatic saver because the poet. So,
The poet.
anything that
poet.
kind of goes into my range of what I enjoy is something that I more go towards when it comes to kind of saving. Like, there's a couple breweries around that I really enjoy their art. Let's see, you got Anchorage Brewing Company out of Alaska, which most of their art is done by one guy, and his art style is fantastic. It kind of has like this kind of like sometimes like of a gore look. It's just very detailed, very really cool. And then you have companies like Adroit Theory out of, I believe, Pennsylvania. I think. Don't quote me on that. But a lot of their art style is they base some of their stuff off of, they stay kind of metal, but because that's what they kind of promote on their breweries. Like they're metal heads, but they're also beer drinkers, which automatically
That's a good combination for you. Yeah. So okay, that's
all
like
things that I love.
the view on the can, the presentation. Okay, that's one. We're only past number one here, guys. Wow, we're gonna have an extensive one.
It's a lot that kind of goes through my head when I'm trying to pick out a beer that I enjoy.
Yeah.
So I automatically, after
you pop
I
the can.
crack open the can, I usually smell the can first, just because you're gonna get kind of different notes when it comes to what you're gonna be smelling right when you open the can than when you pour it, because with the kind of aluminum tin canny kind of smell, it may kind of mute down some of the notes you're smelling. So I smell it in the can first, kind of getting what my start of what I'm gonna be getting my hands into, and then I pour it into a glass and then give it a smell, because like with this one, heavy chocolate. So, but it's not like a dark chocolate, so it's not adding bitterness to the beer. It's more of like a milk chocolatey kind of thing. I'm not really getting any coconut on the smell, but like the chocolate and vanilla mix as well. Definitely getting kind of like a vanilla-y kind of sweetness on there. But I think the most of the vanilla is going to be on the taste. But let's see.
Oh,
yeah, it's mostly chocolate on the smell, which I like, and then you kind of give that bourbon kind of oakiness as well when you smell it, which I love bourbon aged stouts. I love barrel aging. I love the idea behind it when it comes to doing that with wild ales and farmhouse ales. It just
steeping on a
lot
barrel.
of the times it's not really, when you're looking into like the farmhouse and the wild ale kind of realm, they're not aging them in bourbon barrels. They're aging them in like wine barrels.
Oh yeah.
So wine is a natural tart beverage.
Yep.
Or like kind of like that dry kind of taste you're going to get. So it adds a different element to those beers, because when a farmhouse or a wild ale is usually considered more on that sour kind of realm. But with this, adding that kind of oaky bourbon kind of taste in there, it just, when it comes to adding that to a stout, to me, bourbon barrel aging something is what makes a stout so great, in my opinion. Like
It
I
has this
prefer a
depth
bourbon
to it,
barrel
yeah.
aged stout than like a regular kind of stout
Yeah. Defo.
or anything.
I can agree with that. There he goes. Hang on. I've got a. No, sorry.
Well, yeah, like so. First step, label. Second step, kind of get yourself like introduced to what you're going to be tasting, and you could do that just by smelling it, because obviously taste and smell go hand
They're
in hand.
combined.
Together.
Yeah, defo. Yeah.
Because so then I usually get like a small little sip in, kind of let it sit in my mouth for a second, kind of get what I'm tasting. So with this,
And are you doing it with like you know, on the that the wine tasters are doing with little air?
oh, but
with
I
it?
don't spit it out into a bucket. Or
No,
whatever it's like.
never
No,
spit out beer. Never
aerate it.
ever.
Yeah.
Rule number 1.
But yeah, when you pour it, getting air in there, it changes the flavor of it, how it would be in a can.
Mm.
That's why I rarely drink beers out of the can. Rarely.
But do you get like air in your mouth while you have the beer in your mouth?
Well, I think it's like a natural thing that happens too when you're
When
actually
you take a sip.
kind of pouring the beer into your
Oh,
mouth,
okay.
because air is going to get in there either way, which that adds to the element, I guess. But
Well, some people like will hold the beer in their mouth and suck
Yeah,
air through their teeth to like
They slurp
aerate
it. They slurp it.
Yeah.
Slurpee.
I've never done that, and I just tried doing it. It was a weird experience. I'm not doing it again. Because I feel like the moment I like open my lips up with my teeth closed, it's gonna. Ugh.
No, it's not. That's the exact moment when you're slushing air in.
I don't want to make a fool of myself on.
We're all
Just like,
friends here.
here.
Oh man, we do it every week. Come on.
Yeah, we're all friends here. There's no judgment. Let's
But
see if
yeah.
we got any questions in chat. What we got going on here? Oh, Mr. Anderson's putting a thumb up Tesbian. Okay.
Oh man, don't
And-
put your thumbs up each other. Put it down the stream. Come on.
Zygmunt says, been listening to loads of Nordic folk music this weekend. Not much metal. I've discovered my inner Viking. Fun.
Ooh, was that the folk music on last Sunday? Yesterday? With the
No, this
okay.
he's saying Nordic folk music.
Ah,
No,
okay.
but the winter
sorry, little
doldrums was
sidestep.
awesome.
How was that?
Oh, it's a
I was
whole
working last
day.
night.
A whole day of music, and it was exactly what I needed. Like I
Aw,
just needed that.
great.
It was lovely. It was nice to have that concert style experience from the
Mhm.
comfort of your own home. The people in chat were just so welcoming and warming. It was really cool to see so much support from the vape community in there, as well as Michelle's music fam. And
Aw.
everyone was getting along great. It was just such a wonderful time. I
Aw.
really enjoyed myself. I had the biggest smile on my face all day. Just like I know you and I have talked about that before, where it's like we have our music days. I really needed that. Like really
Cool.
needed that. Just like a day of music appreciation.
Great. And you can still watch the replay if you have a ticket, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you bought your ticket before yesterday, I believe it's good for 2 weeks.
Cool.
Yeah, it was really good.
Cool.
Really good. And I'm actually really enjoying this mocktail.
Mock cocktail.
Yeah.
Vinegar. So,
Okay, next step. You got it in your
Dude,
mouth.
it's
You're
good.
swallowing it, and then.
So, kind of get what flavors I'm getting usually,
Mhm.
and it's kind of cool because like the more you let the beer sit as you're drinking it, the flavors are going to change because you're going to be tasting different things when it comes to it coming out right out of the fridge
Mhm.
and kind of getting to that point where it's room temperature. So, like there's specific beers that are ideally meant to be drank at room temperature. When you think of anything Belgian,
Oh, could you
You
please
think of,
repeat
like,
that?
or like a kind of like a Trappist style beer as well, because
A Trappist,
if
yeah.
anybody doesn't know what Trappist style is, it's my favorite thing of all time, and I want
Is
to
it?
go out there for
Oh,
and actually
you-
learn.
okay. I've
because
got a fact about that.
Trappist styling of beer is actually made by like monks,
Yep.
Trappist monks.
I've got a fact for you. Did you know there are only 6 monasteries in the world that are making Trappist beer? Because Trappist
I
beer
wanna
can
go to
only
at least one of them
cold
and
Trappist
and
beer
learn.
when they are brewed by monks. The
Mhm.
Trappisten, that's the order. It's called
Because
Trappisten.
they don't do
There-
it out from what
there are
I've read,
5
they
in
don't do
Belgium.
anything by like paperwork and all
There are
that stuff.
5
Everything is
5 in Belgium, 1 in the Netherlands. Bada!
Oh,
got
all
one.
where you are.
Yep, we've got one.
that'd be
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's like a kind of a bucket list thing of mine is actually like go to a Trappist
Oh yeah,
kind of brewery and learn from people like that, because that's a way of making beer that's been around longer than the U.S. has been a country, practically.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Like thousands of years of making like the Trappist style of brews, and it's those kind of beers are meant to be served at room temperature.
Yep.
Or like any Belgian style ale. A lot of the times that's meant to be stored at room temperature or served at room temperature because
exactly.
you think about it, back in the day, they didn't have refrigeration really. You had the temperature of where you were at the time.
Yeah.
That was your kind of version of refrigeration. So
so to keep it, conserved, you didn't have to add additives. It was brewed to keep it longer instead of
at
like
temperature.
adding.
And it's like when they say, like especially with a Belgian style, like a Belgian triple, all that stuff, when you serve it colder, you're going to lose more of those complex kind of spice notes. Because when it comes to like a Belgian style beer or like a Belgian triple, a Belgian quad, those beers are known for adding a lot more like spices into their beer to kind of add that extra zing to it. Where
and if you're drinking it
still
cold,
getting like a nice like maltiness to it there, because the malts they use out in Europe are probably fantastic. And the yeast that they use, because where your ingredients come from
it
matters so much when it comes to beer, because it's like how the best way I can describe is when you're ordering fruit, you get what environment is it grown. Like I imagine pineapples out of Hawaii are probably going to be some of the best pineapples you ever eat, just because the volcanic soil and all that stuff, how much nutrients are getting into those fruits. It matters why
it is.
When
it's the same with wines, right? Same with wines, where the grapes are planted, where they grow, and which soil exactly they have, and which kind
how healthy that stuff has been maintained. All those things factor into how a beer is going to taste later on. And that's where it's like, especially where you're looking into where the hops are grown when it comes to you're looking for an IPA. There's hops that I've kind of started learning about and kind of tasting their stuff. I've been getting a few things where New Zealand's been growing their specific kind of hops, and
they do too. I just want to pop in a question for Chat as well.
Sure.
Chat, what kind of beer is what style of beer is your favorite style of beer? When you're really sitting down enjoying a beer, what would your beer of choice be? That's a question for Chat over here.
Yeah, and Graham Maberly says, I got an old organic ale called Old Stinkhorn. Okay. I've never heard of that one. One of my favorite Abbott Reserve fruit cake. Love it at Christmas. Okay.
So that's definitely going to be.
How are you on ales, Poonsauce?
If it's an ale.
How are you on ales?
Cake. I'm thinking that might be in the realm of more of it's going to be a darker beer, obviously. That's the specific beer I can see you aging. To where aging is a whole entire realm when it comes to beer, because
it's like steeping with e-juices, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, because there's different ways you have to do it. Like how when it comes to e-liquid, steeping e-liquid, you want it in a dark kind of place where it's like I have a lot of liquid in a drawer of mine to where I keep it and it steeps relatively well. When it comes to beer, you want it kind of like in a wine cellar kind of environment. But a lot of the times when it comes to storing beer, I believe I think it's a bottle. If it's in a bottle, you want it stored on its side.
Yeah, for the cork, right?
Yeah. If it's a cork, you don't want that cork to dry out.
Yep.
Right.
So you want liquid constantly hitting it and make sure that it's I don't want to say keeping it moist a little bit, but
you can say
that. But when it comes to cans, there's an argument, or like when it comes to just regular bottled stuff, aging really doesn't really do a thing. But I've had a couple.
Canning has like completely taken over the craft beer scene, which is really, really fascinating for me because it was always like bottle for so long.
Well, because
now we're in this new whole canned movement.
I think they did it because obviously it's. I don't know if like you can actually look up what's cheaper when it comes to glass bottling or
right, totally canning. It's a cost thing, and they're like,
of course,
but the flavor's better.
Well, the one thing that I would debate over like canning being better than bottling would be that it depending on the kind of bottle they're using, to where you notice a lot of beers don't really use the clear kind of bottles anymore. You'll see like the normal MGD kind of stuff. That's just that mainstream.
Yeah, I think Jay was asking how you feel about ales. Right?
Yeah, ales. Yeah. Let us first get back to chat. Simon is on stouts and porters. I really like. I saw Simon put on Stouts and Clouds. That's a real good name for a podcast or a show with beers and vapes. But anyway, really good one. Stouts and porters. Yeah, Graham is of course in the vodka, but that's not a beer, man. That's not a beer. Sorry. Frankenweiss doesn't drink. That's cool. We've got a all bears bearing nut ones. That's a
Dry
Shrek.
wine. Okay.
IPAs and sours next on the list for Wintucky.
Okay, so if you're into like wines and all that stuff, and you're kind of wanting to experiment a little bit on kind of getting a little into some beers that make, because we all know her, she hangs out in the Yo-Yo Discord, but PSS Pam, I've been kind of her beer teacher a little bit because she hates the taste of beer a little bit, but
beer guru.
Well, mostly she hates the taste of beer, but she wants a beer that doesn't taste like beer, so she's been kind of. I don't want to say she's tried any of the stuff because I doubt she's gone out and actually looked for stuff that doesn't taste like beer, that is actually beer. But the stuff I would suggest to her would be like a fruited Berliner Weiss or sour,
or a cider.
Yeah, or a cider.
Well,
you do that too.
But you're talking
I'm
Weizen,
not really
though,
gonna
right?
get into the whole cidery kind of thing because that's just another realm on its own. I'll just stick to the
right. What'd you say,
beer.
Jay?
You were talking Weizen, right?
Weizen?
Whites?
Oh,
did I only get half
Weizen?
the Weizen?
Berliner Weiss.
Yeah, yeah. That is a Weizen. Yeah. Okay.
Which a lot of the stuff I've been drinking in that realm has been like. There's a big thing when it comes to fruited Berliner Weisses in the U.S. now. When it comes to making it kind of like a smoothie. You're mostly tasting those natural fruit flavors of the fruit you're using in that beer. A lot of those fruited Berliner Weisses, obviously for the word fruited in there, they're heavily fruited beers.
Yeah.
You're going to get the natural tartness out of some of the fruits that you're using, depending on if it's a blackberry or kind of thing, because a lot of those fruits have like a slight natural tartness to it, but it's not like what a sour.
Yeah, but hang on. Are they added in the brewing process as like a part of the the base of the beer, or added later as a flavor? That's a difference as well, right?
I think they add it into the brewing process.
Yeah.
Just because
okay.
Because when it comes to those ones, there's a lot of sediment in those, to where it's like when you're getting towards those kind of beers. There's a suggestion that I recommend, but sometimes some people don't recommend it. Is before you drink those ones, if it's in a can, roll the can a little bit, because you don't want all that stuff to be sitting at the bottom. So you roll the can, kind of get the stuff moving a little bit.
Exactly. Swirl.
Just don't do it like crazy, because then you're gonna open up like I did on one of them and kind of have a little bit of an overflow happen on you, which was kind of disappointing on me. But
beer fountain.
Well, it sucked because when I opened the can and it just started foaming like a motherfucker out of the top, and I was like, okay, I have 0.2 seconds to turn this thing over into the glass. And when I poured it into the glass, it was like 93, like almost 75% foam.
It
was insane.
Fail.
And it's like, and it was from a brewery I like their stuff from, but it's like, I guess I looked on Untapped, and other people have been getting the same thing happening to them, where it's like they posted pictures on Untapped with that same beer, and it's like little bit in the glass and most of the beer is underneath the can sitting in a puddle, which kind of sucks. I'm like, oh, that's beer abuse. But
speaking of Untapped, do you have a username that people can find
actually,
you over there?
I'll actually throw my.
I need to pee. I'm sorry. I never do that during a show, but I need to. Sorry.
We're getting ready to kind of circle back and wrap it up here. So
and flavors with beer and vaping. That's only the last thing we should touch on. I think.
Chat for you guys. There it is.
Be right back.
What, Jay?
If anybody wants to follow me on Untapped or give me a friend request, any other beer drinkers out there, highly recommend it. I want to see what other people are drinking. I want to see anything that I need to keep an eye out for. So, if you want to give me a friend request on there?
Absolutely. Yeah, like I think this is really great too. You can get a lot of information from a lot of these people in chat too, just to like share that knowledge between overseas.
Well, yeah, because all they need to do is just share what they're drinking, rate it, give what they're tasting, and then I do the research from there on my own to see if I can get this stuff near me or if it's something that I can go on the hunt for.
Yeah, that's fun. That's so cool, man. Like, thank you for coming on here and sharing all this with us. Like,
I can talk about beer for fucking hours.
Yeah, and I used to be the same way. And I kind of like, I haven't really touched on this a whole lot, but like I quit drinking almost 2 years ago. And it wasn't because like I was out of control or I had an issue. It was like really part of my weight loss journey, and I stopped. I was really into beer, like really into beer. I was super into craft
Sorry.
beer. I had like a beer and vaping channel that I did for a while, and it was a really big part of my life, and I miss that. Like, but I've kind of like moved that same tasting and the way that you pick apart flavor profiles over to like making e-liquid now. And so I still get that to have that fun, but I feel like sometimes it's kind of a bummer, because the craft beer scene has like shifted so much, and there's so much more now out there to explore. So it's kind of cool to even for myself that doesn't drink, I can still go to your channel and kind of get an idea of what are the new things are that are coming out, and live vicariously through you, which is nice. So
The only thing you're missing is actually drinking it. So
exactly, right? Like, and I mean, I still love talking beer. I love talking profiles, and that's something I'll always hold near and dear to my heart. So definitely.
And if you have these tastes in beers, and I just recently I found out through Grim Green and through the Discord we were on, like you can pair beers with vapes as well, and that was something that I'm like, oh yeah, of course you can do that now, and I've quit smoking, and my taste buds are coming back, and like boom, man, that was like a mouth orgasm, if I can say that, if you know what I mean.
well,
And that was like,
when you think about it too, it's the same with pairing beer with food. There's a whole entire
absolutely,
different
yeah,
ballgame when
yeah.
it comes to food pairings and beer. It's insane. There's one person I would go to when it comes to that kind of thing. And she's not really doing YouTube stuff anymore, but the wonderful Ruby Roo, because she actually, that was her realm when she worked at New Belgium. Was she was the one that suggested whatever beer you're drinking. She's the one that kind of put you into what food you're pairing with it, and that she's when I first started going down, like before I started doing the reviews, she was my beer teacher. She was my craft beer mom, practically.
Nice.
I went to her for everything. We studied. She's the one that recommended me the book I get all of my information off of, that I kind of self-learn when it comes to all the stuff. But she has so much knowledge when it comes to that avenue. It's insane.
I have a feeling that this is not the last time you're going to be on our show, because there's so much subject we haven't tapped in on yet.
I was going to say, this was way a lot of information to squeeze into this hour.
And I hope you want to come back on this and, continue this journey into beer and vaping and food and tasting. And
and
great.
you two sharing your thoughts on things too. And I mean, Jay's kind of always said, that he drinks his stouts room temperature, and sometimes, some Americans, not myself included, just kidding, but we kind of say, no, no one can drink warm beer, but like he's always been really right about it. We just like to, kind of poke fun.
Cheese me.
It's really cool to like hear that and just see the different ways that things are enjoyed like all over the world. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and like you said too, like with the climate and what's readily available out there, and like the Belgium style beers versus like
there's so many
that you find over here.
Like Mr. Poonsauce said, it was like there's so many nice, good, cool brew stories out there. Where Pilsner is coming from, where Kriek and Geuze is coming from. There's so many cool brew stories out there.
Can you say that again? Because my US kind of brain just what you just did there.
Kriek and Geuze. I think you call it Geus. Lambic.
Okay, that was Lambic. I don't know, the way you said it was amazing.
Oh, sorry. Lambic is like a Geuze beer. And that's like, okay, another story for another time, but that's a long story. But that's the way it's brewed, like by natural yeast in the air. It's oh man, there's so many cool brew stories out there. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I'm getting off track here now.
No, it's great.
But yeah, that's cool to, do it some more. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we just kind of get into what you want to talk about at first, was why we kind of brought up this discussion a little bit, is beer and vape pairings. Because like you said, Grim does it. A lot of people do when it comes to pairings like that. But like I was saying earlier, it's really similar when it comes to like pairing food as well. So there was something I read in that book that I have that if you're an IP, this is talking to anybody in chat as well, to where if you're drinking something like an IPA,
Yeah.
a heavy hoppy IPA, you may not think it, but the sweeter pairing you do with it. So let's say you're drinking an IPA and you have a really sweet liquid, pair that, like, it's not, doesn't matter if it's fruity, desserty or not. I would actually recommend going the desserty realm before anything.
Yeah.
And so get a really sweet desserty vape and pair it with an IPA and just
I can
let me know what you
that.
think, because
Yeah.
I've tried it and it's blown my mind with how well it actually pairs.
So like a custard or something like
Like a custard
like a
and an
butterscotch
IPA.
custard.
I
Wow.
can't explain how well it goes together because I can't. There's so much going on when you pair them together. It's like, what the hell is happening right now?
Do you pick up IPAs, Jay, at all?
Well, actually, I was at work yesterday, and a colleague of mine came by, and he said, like, "Yeah, I brought my favorite IPA," but he didn't know that I don't like IPAs, so I had a few sips, and I was like, "Oh man, this is so not my style."
IPAs are kind of
I'm the same way
together.
It's
I
bitter
was
and
definitely
sour,
the same way.
but now you mention it, I was like, maybe I should have drunk a couple of more sips, and you know, I had my vape and my custards with me. Maybe I should have tried it. Damn it. Yeah.
Well,
An IPA
next
with a
time you
custard.
find yourself in a situation where you happen
I'm gonna
to be
buy an
forcing
IPA now.
yourself to drink an IPA, because I know I was the same way. I'd force myself to have one every once in a while just to see if they had gotten better for my taste
Oh
palate.
yeah.
Because where I learned that was when you pair an IPA with a sweet food, like a dessert. So if you're having like a very sweet, like a
It
tart or
sounds
a
so
pie or
wrong.
something. It
It
sounds
sounds
wrong, but
so
it pairs
wrong.
so
Makes the
well.
click.
So I would automatically think that a liquid would kind of be the same way, and it worked. And I couldn't explain how it worked, but it did. And it's like,
What is your favorite? Because I know we're kind of like wrapping up here, but what is
Are we?
your
Okay.
favorite thing to pair when you're drinking your stouts?
Thespian, start the car.
Tess is cooking.
is
She's
that your
"Sorry."
Blame
sign when
Tess.
she's cooking when the smoke alarm goes off?
Well, it's right outside my office. It's usually me with vaping, so that's funny. But what do you pair with yours, Jay? And then what do you like to? What's your go-to? with
My
yours,
go-to
Twin
is
Sauce?
well, the thing was like since I quit smoking and my taste buds, you know, arose again, and then going back into the stouts, which I already liked, but then getting in depth to them, that was really. And then I was like, you know, with the thick custards and the butterscotches, that is like my go-to. And also, I've got something else like, you know, that's maybe for another time. I've got a nice a chocolate banana stout over here as well, which could be
Ooh.
awesomely paired with like a boulet bolo, to get,
Oh, yeah.
or with a custard, Dickens custard banana, just to, you know, get that whole palette on that little thing running, and that's something, yeah.
Oh, so you're going with like the layering and thinking of it like,
Yeah, with the
okay, well,
stouts,
this is
yeah.
gonna like
Beer,
boost,
so you want-
boost my experience. That's
yeah.
So
cool.
it's like you have some, like comparing that banana beer with the Blue Bolo. The moment you vape that, when you're drinking that, the banana is just gonna accentuate tenfold.
Yeah. So and then
So
you,
it's like
and then the next
when
time
you're
you
thinking
vape it,
about when you're drinking that beer and you may not think it doesn't have enough banana in there for you. You vape it with the Blue Bolo and it'll give you that perfect amount of banana you want.
yeah. But I like things to matchy. But now you said like the IPA and with a custard, I'm definitely gonna try that. I'm definitely gonna try
Can't
that.
explain why it's so good. It just is.
Well, it's probably because
Bring it
it's
on, yeah.
confusing your brain and you're tasting something sour and sweet at the same time, and that usually works, right? So it's probably something in there with the way your brain is functioning and the chemistry that it's so confused that the
Yep.
pairing together is like a euphoric experience, right? It could definitely be.
Sets off the
that's-
right elements in your brain. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Like it's just setting two different things off at once, and together you're like, wow, this is magic, right? And then so what do you normally what's your go-to then, Poonsauce,
So
when you're
with this, out of all the setups I have going right now, a first thing that I would pair with this porter, just because there's vanilla, there's coconut, and there's chocolate. Pete would be the first one because it's like a banana milkshakey thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I did the pairing a little bit while we're doing the show.
Yeah.
And what I kind of experienced with it. So let's do this. So the way I do it is I don't take the vape and then go through that and like exhale as you're drinking it. What I do is I drink it, kind of get it to be on my tongue a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and then take the vape.
All right.
Okay.
Because you still have the flavors of the beer you had.
Right. And then you're kind of just like brushing over that with what you're
So with
accentuating.
this pairing right now, the one thing that I noticed that got enhanced greatly was the milkshake portion of this
Oh.
this liquid, because it mellows
That's
out
right,
more
that
of the banana and the nut.
Mm-hmm.
But when you don't have the flavor of the beer in your mouth, the banana and the nut is what comes forward the most. So when you kind of had something heavier and more of like that bourbon-y kind of thing, it mellows out those banana nut flavors and makes that milkshake pop a little bit more. And
Okay.
it's
Okay.
delicious.
Yeah.
Adding
I like
that
to do
kind
it
of
both ways, like having the sip.
milkshakey chocolate kind of thing, kind of
Mhm.
making it a little bit like of a malty kind of taste as well, like
Mhm.
a chocolate malt kind of flavor.
Ooh,
But yeah, it's a
that
great
sounds
flavor.
up my alley.
I like to do it both ways as well, because if you vape it and then have it in your glass and then have the sip as well, you have the smell of and the vape and the beer combined as well. It's different, but I like that too.
Oh yeah. I mean, and I'm sure everyone has their own way of doing it, you know. That's what's cool is to like see the different ways.
Hmm.
And I'm sure you get two different like
There's no wrongs, there's
elements
no
when
wrong.
you do it those two separate ways, right? Like one is more
Exactly,
beer forward
yeah.
and one's more vape forward.
And it looks cool, but okay.
Oh yeah, duh. That's awesome.
So-
Well, I've had a lot of fun tonight. Like this has been
Definitely, yeah.
tons of information, and
Yeah.
I love it. And it has been a pleasure to have you on here. Like, thank you again for coming on here and sharing this.
Yeah, man,
little
thanks.
tidbit.
And I hope
Just
it's
a
not the last
little
time. I enjoy this. I hope it's not
So
the
Yeah,
last
Jasper,
time.
exactly.
before we get out of here,
Yeah.
okay, Untapped does a rating scale of out of 5, but I usually do mine out of 10.
Oh yeah.
After you've been able to drink that beer, what would you rate that beer that you just drank?
Based on what I've okay, I'm gonna picture the can again. It was right in front of me. It's now over there. I'm gonna the pouring, the first smell, how I enjoyed it, how I wanted to sip it every time. Like, ooh, this is good. About, you said 1 to 10 or 1 to 5? What was it?
My scale is 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10.
But
I'm gonna
Untapped
give it,
does it out of 5. So which one you want to choose.
compared to the stouts I've had so far, the last was it a couple of months? That would be a 7.8.
Okay.
I don't want to give it an
Yeah, pretty
8.
high.
I don't want to give it a 7.5. Yeah, it's definitely good. It's got
It's
the
around that 7.5 to 8 kind of.
Yeah, I don't want to give it an 8. I don't want to give it a.
almost like going towards that 8. So it's
Yeah.
pretty high rating
Yeah,
on you.
it is. Yeah, it is. It's definitely. Yeah, it's one I would want more of. Yeah,
I was gonna say, would you buy it again?
yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
This one. How about yours?
Okay, I'm gonna go through all of my ratings that I usually do. So first off, my ratings out of Can Art. Can Art is awesome. When I originally graded this beer on Can Art, I gave it a 5 out of 5 because I just love that art.
You love that, yeah,
Again, another 5 out of 5 just because it's the same art. But I also do kind of a thing to where, let's say if I went to Imperial Oak, which is the brewery this was made at, and if I got a flight, and this was a beer that I got in my flight, would I go up and get another glass of this just by itself? 100% yes. 100% yes. I
There you
love
go.
this. I love how it tastes. I love that it's more chocolatey than the original version. It kind of adds like that extra sweetness to it, which I really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So I would 100% get a glass of this by itself. Okay, so final rating. I believe when I did the review on the original one, I gave it an 8 out of 10, which, because I love the bourbony taste. I love that kind of heavy, kind of bready notes that you would get from the Baltic yeast they used in it.
Mm-hmm.
But just adding that extra sweetness, adding that extra chocolatey and vanilla notes to it, easily give this an easy 8.5. Give that half a rating
Ooh.
more. So almost a 9 in my opinion.
That's high.
Either an 8.5 close to an 8.75. Almost a 9.
Nice. So two high-rated beers tonight.
Boom,
Yeah, this one-
boosh.
I enjoy this one more than the original just because that added like chocolate and vanilla note to it. Just balanced it out a lot more. And it kind of low. I don't want to say I enjoy it more because it lowered the bourbon-y kind of notes to it, but those bourbon notes were still there, but it adds like an extra element of sweetness to it that
Gotcha.
just made it for a beer that I enjoy the most.
So that's really cool because no matter what side of the world you're on, you could potentially find access to both of these. So everybody that's watching with us, hopefully you get a chance to maybe seek out one of these.
Hell, if you're ever in Illinois, anybody in chat,
Oh, I'd love
hit me
to.
up on social media or something. If you have like a layover that's a day or something, I can take you to a couple spots.
Nice.
Hey, whenever you're in the area of
5 minutes out of
Rotterdam.
O'Hare, that you can take an Uber from the airport to the brewery. 5 minutes down the road.
What'd
Right
you
off
say,
of-
Jay?
No, and if everyone is in the area of Rotterdam, give me a shout. And we have some great. We have like 3 or 4 different beer shops over here as well, where they have like plethora of like stouts.
Yeah, the next
and
time I'm in
porters
the
and-
Netherlands, you're the first person I'm hitting up. I don't
Bring
care.
it
I
on,
was
bring
just
it on,
gonna
bring it
say,
on, bring it in, bring it in.
You two need to get together because it sounds
We'll have
like
so
no
much fun.
matter which destination you're
Okay,
Oh,
gonna
if
have
you
a
put me
blast.
and Jay at a brewery just drinking stouts and porters and shit, we're gonna close them out just because
Oh,
we're gonna be
man.
going through all their kegs.
We're gonna be
We're gonna
so
be carrying
heavy-headed.
each other out of the
Yeah,
brewery.
exactly. That's what I want to say. It's
Been
gonna be
there.
a two-day
We're
hangover.
both gonna be
Shit.
stumbling, so we're gonna have one arm on each other to even out the stumbling. So we're just gonna be one human being just
Yep.
walking out of the brewery.
I'd love that. Oh, cool, man.
Well, this has been an absolute joy.
Yeah, it's been a lot of
hope that
fun.
you guys enjoyed yourselves as much as I enjoyed watching and learning. And I'm really glad that both of you had very high rated beers on your personal
Yeah,
scale today.
yeah, that's cool.
Hold
That
on,
just makes the night.
Derek. I'm in the northwest suburbs of Chicago, practically. So if you're ever up in that area, hit me up.
I'm in the north
No,
side
I
of
get
Rotterdam. If you ever hear.
We'll make a day out of it. I'll take you to a couple spots and I'll widen your horizons on some good beer up in the northwest suburbs.
Boom, there you go.
I'm to the berries now, and I'm just really enjoying that.
No.
Nothing.
You need an
greater
IPA
than
with that.
vinegar berries.
I don't get to have them very often.
I think let's run it up. Thanks a lot, Poonsauce. That was really cool. Tasting stuff
it's
together
been
and
great.
talking about it and that's great.
Anytime I can go on somewhere and talk about beer, I'm down.
Anytime we can have someone on talk about beer, you're on. So that's both ways, bro.
100%.
Both
Thank
ways.
you, chat, for all of your awesome questions. And thanks again, special people out there on the replay. And thank you to our lovely guest, Poonsauce. You
Replay
can find his links to all of his social media has been throughout the chat, and then we'll be able to update the description with those maybe in there too.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry, Disco. We didn't discuss it, but I'm gonna put it out there. If I'm
What's
gonna
up?
be hanging out on Zoom for like maybe an hour or two after this show. If you want to be part of it, just send me a message through Facebook, Hooked on Funk, and we'll just set up a Zoom room, and then we'll talk some more, maybe about beers, maybe about something else, maybe
Yeah,
whatever.
might grab
I
another
just need it. I just want it.
Hang out.
It's cool. Cool.
Yeah.
I'll just
I'm
send
down.
the links to. Just shoot me a message on Facebook, Hooked on Funk, and I'll make up a room, and we'll all be part of there.
Yeah, if anyone wants to hang out on Zoom, fuck it.
Cool.
I'm down.
And
Sorry,
where
Disco.
can people catch you next, Poonsauce?
Yes.
So if you want to see the last episode of Vaping with the Omies, you can catch me on the Vaping with the Omies YouTube channel. Just type in Vaping with the Omies on YouTube. You can see us there. You can find me every single day during the week at 4 p.m. Central doing another live review.
That is 10.
Another
no,
beer. I have one going up tomorrow. So tomorrow's gonna be a room temperature beer, gonna be kind of like a Belgian kind of style beer. So I'm excited to talk about that one. And then you can catch me this Wednesday with Mr. Logan Exhales for What's in the News as well. So you get a twofer for me as well on my channel. So you'll have my review going up earlier in the day, and you'll have What's in the News later in the day. So
awesome.
Yeah, and try and watch that, guys. Logan is a really cool guy as well as Poonsauce, and yeah, check it out.
Yeah,
check it out.
Definitely.
Oh, and I forgot one thing I promised to do, and that is putting out the link for Mr. Shrek over there. Do you have the link? Where's my file? I'm so not organized. If you want to be organized, then you have to go. Oh, there it is. Mr. Garrett Shrek vape reviews. Please. He's new to the scene. Give him a, view him. Give him a sub. And, yeah.
Awesome.
I want another beer, but not a line.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you guys hang out in the Zoom room. Have a good time. I'm going to enjoy my dinner.
Yeah, enjoy your evening. Guys, enjoy your rest of the week. I hope we put something positive in your beginning of the week, and stay safe, be kind, help each other out.
Yes.
Anyone you want to thank, Poonsauce?
I want to thank you two for having me on here. It's great.
Fun.
I said earlier, anytime I get to get on somewhere and talk about beer, I'm 100% down. So, plus you two are great friends, so I want to help you guys out. Hang out with you two because you guys are fantastic people. So anytime I get to hang out with you two, it's just great. So
I wasn't fishing for compliments. Come on.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks,
anybody in chat that wants to learn more about beer, hit me up. Just subscribe to my YouTube. I know the link's been dropped a few times in chat, probably in the description as well. But yeah, if you're looking to learn more about beer, I'm doing reviews every single day. So
get them on
Plus,
there.
I have playlists of stuff. So if you want to catch replays of stuff, you can go onto my channel, hit the live beer review playlist, and just watch 20-something videos. You might be spending a few hours.
Just to binge watch it. Boom.
Well, hold on. I haven't really checked on how many. Let's see. Hold on.
Well, you got to be up to like 30 now.
Let's look right now. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's do this.
There we go.
Playlists.
And don't forget
you
to
have 28 videos. 28 videos to go through that average around between like 15 to 20 minutes each. So you're going to be spending a little bit of time on YouTube if you want to go through them all. But
loads of information.
Yeah, it's a lot of beer. A lot of beer.
That too. Right, guys, we're gonna round it up.
Some new stuff. We have a playlist for that as well. So
nice.
We'll talk about it next time. I'm sure you're going to be back here, Corey. I'm sure you are. All right, thanks, guys.
Excited.
Stay safe. Stay healthy. Goodbye.